talking about their products. I changed my mind to talk about how I become this position. So how many moms are here today? Raise your hand, only one. I know there were a few more. Yeah. So I like to give myself a title of mom of 4 kids, and a wife, an entrepreneur, and a multifamily real estate investor. So I would like to talk about a little bit about why I found apartments. So I guess like maybe a lot of people here even didn't move as many times as my first daughter. When she became 5 years old, she moved 7 times with us because of my husband's job. So that's the first place, Perryton, Texas, where she was born, nearby there. And then when she was about a few months old, we moved her with my husband, to Wyoming. And then we moved again to Louisiana, and then Texas, and then even Canada, Alberta, Canada. So she moved 7 times before she turned 5. And when she was a little baby, we didn't feel like it's very difficult to move her around with us. We feel like, oh, we can go to visit a lot of places we even couldn't think about with a job. And then when she became like 3, she was upset each time we moved because she just makes some friends. And she finally had somebody to play with her. And then we had to move her again, and she had to go to the new place, new home, new friend, make new friends again. So she was very upset when we moved her again from Canada back to Texas. So we were thinking about how can we change the situation. We didn't want her to be upset again. We want her to have some friends she can play with. So we were looking for something that if my husband could find a new job, or I could do something and then make ourselves have enough money that we can turn down the offer from his company each time they wanted to move us again. So first, I tried, like being a stay-at-home mom for almost 6 years. I feel like it's so hard for me to find a job with a little one. And I even tried to send her to daycare before she was 4. So each morning, she cried her head off when I sent her to the daycare. So that broke my heart a lot. And I had to change so many places because some of the daycare didn't want to take her because she cried so much. So when I pick her up from the daycare, that made me so upset. So I had to quit my job. I had a part-time job at that time. So I was looking for something that I can work from home. And then I found a realtor who helped us to purchase our primary residence in Houston. I asked her, can you be my mentor or coach so I can learn something from you, then I can work from home? And then she looked at me, because my oldest was just turned 4. And then I had another one. She was just like less than 1 year old, about a year old. And then she was like, I don't think you can do that with these 2 here. So I was like so upset. And then one day we sent our daughter to the Chinese Sunday school or Saturday school. So it was a smaller place that not all the parents can go inside with the kids. I went inside with my daughter, and my husband was sitting in the car listening to the radios, and he heard about something that, oh, if you want to retire early or if you want to get financial freedom early, then do this, especially real estate, apartments, investment. So he found like that was pretty interesting. So on that Wednesday, there was a case study, a free workshop like that, and then it was about like 20 minutes away from our house. No, sorry, from his work. So he told me like, oh, I won't come home tonight as normal. I will be late probably 2 hours. That's okay. So he went there. Then he paid 500 or something like that for their next weekend to go to do a coaching program about how to invest in real estate or apartments. So he went there, and then the program was like 2 days. And the second day, they were talking about how you can invest in multifamily, even you are not rich, how you can invest with a lot of other people or a group of people to buy bigger stuff, like 100 unit, 200 unit apartment like that. So he decided to pay $18,000 just to learn that. And he just called me on the phone, and I was screaming on the phone like, what? You didn't tell me, and then you make a decision to pay $18,000. So he said, well, don't get mad. I will explain when I get home. So next month, there was another one because he paid, and I can go to see what they were teaching about. So he stayed at home with the kids, and I went there too. And then after they talk about how you can invest the apartment, and then how you can invest that as a business, that changed my mind. And then I came home and said, let's sell our house. Let's sell our stock. Let's sell everything, get everything out from the 401k, just to get a lot of money, or as much as money we could have to invest in multifamily. So that's how we started from there. So, and then we like to go a lot of places. When we just started as a new investor in the market, especially in the commercial real estate, it's hard to find your deal because nobody would think that you could close a deal. So they won't give you information, or they won't show you the deal. So it took us quite a lot of time to find our first deal. And that time it was 2016, 2017. So a lot of people, a lot of investors from New York, like California, they already went to Texas to get real estate. So the competition was pretty tough at that time over there in the Texas market. So we flew to the hometown of my husband's when he grew up, and it was Cincinnati, Ohio. So we went there to check properties. No matter how far it was, we would go there and then check those deals ourselves and then just make a decision. So we got our first deal in January 2017. So now it's about 8 years. We've done about more than 30 acquisitions, more than 4,300 units. So I already talked about something like this already, right? So how could I do it? How could I become the position today? We were willing to learn. The start on new real estate or even apartments, it was new to us. We didn't have any experience in real estate investment at all. The only experience we had was only purchasing some homes for ourselves. So we were willing to learn something that we never known before. And then we were willing to try something that we haven't done before. And we were willing to pay mentorship or coach to help us to achieve today. And then today, whereas Galvin was asking about what's the difference that people from my hometown can be a little bit different than the other group of people. I told him like just take action, just do, right? At lunch break, that's one of the points. that we could be a little bit more successful than some people, not all, of course, right? And willing to work for others for free. I remember when we just started, I took every opportunity that I could to work for the other GPs, for the other operators, just to learn how I can do that myself, even it's free, right? And then, like I just said, willing to travel anywhere needed to get a deal done. And then, of course, I already mentioned about mentorship, and then follow the map of the other successful people, right? I think this is a good way to learn from the other people or to copy of their success as well. And then a lot of networkings, like today or yesterday when we came here, we can make a lot of new connections to other people that we haven't met before. So this is a good example that a lot of networking, build your networks that will help you to success. And then set up your goals. What would you like to be in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years? And then work hard for your goals. Okay, and now I talk about our journey about the apartments. The next one I'm going to talk a little bit about is what we are going to do the next. So as everyone knows that the quality of the building material is getting worse and worse in the whole market here. Just we cannot find as good quality as before anymore, right? Especially the shortage supply since COVID. So we started to get into a new tech about wood-lease building material for our new constructions in California and the future project that we're going to do in California. So the material is made with concrete fiber, and then the insulation foam in between the products to for the cool and heat resistance. So, and then this products we also use the solar panel, just like what's his name, Yang Wang, right? Talk about that. Some of the products, some of the houses already came with a solar panel. That's what we are doing right now too in California. And the one we are building right now is it's just a single family houses, but the idea is that we can bring this material to build in single families, duplex, triplex, or fourplex or apartment complexes in the future, not just in California, but like in Texas or Florida, right? Because this product is fireproof and then waterproof, and then it's very flexible that you can get, like if there's any big winds, strong wind, hit the products or your house, it will be still okay there. So I don't know if anybody heard about the hurricane in Florida just a few days ago. It's pretty bad. A lot of people die and a lot of people hurt. And also there are a lot of houses that got damaged during the hurricane. I still remember the first property we got in Mississippi. 3 days after we closed the property from the seller, we got Zelda. That was end of October 2020. And then all the sidings and the roof were gone on that property. So the repair on that property, the whole property is more than about 2.5 million. So it's very huge. So if we use some technology or the product like what we are doing right now, we won't have this issue, even we got hit by hurricane like the one we just had right now. So I don't know how much time do I still have.
Let me see. About 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes, yeah. So yeah, right, so if we're using the wood right now, then bring me another memory about our first property we bought in January 2017. So that was our first investment property, and we didn't have any experience. So even we did very like on the details on the inspection, just like a single family. I get the inspector to do inspection on every unit. So when we had to replace some sidings, and when they open the siding of the property, all the wood inside, they were rotten, so we had to replace all the wood before we can put new siding there. If we didn't open it, we didn't know, but probably the property cannot stay for too longer, yeah. So it's just like, yeah, things like that. So we were joking like, yeah, they, like for example, not just California, but the shortage of the housing in the whole America is coming. And just earlier Jenny was talking about that too. There would be a lot of demand on the housing, single families, apartments like that. So to make this possible, our product is not like the traditional construction. It could be done really fast, and then if we have a bigger piece of land, we can build a property like apartment or 50 single family house or 100 single family houses like that. So we can put the plan aside, and then everything can be produced there, and then the machine will bring the walls and everything to, like when we're doing a Lego, put everything together, and we could do that way. So this is just like the house that we are building right now in Laguna Hills, California. That's our first project doing this over there. And the reason why we chose to start from California is because of the mandates over there in California, and also all the codings there are more higher than most of the other states. If we can pass all the codings over there, we can build anywhere else in the US. Oh, that was the electricity bill, like using the solar on one of our model home that we built, our partner built before. So it's like nearly like zero there, right? $10.50. So talk about this too. So this material has been done for almost like 30 years or more, and then our partner, they already used this product about 22 years ago, and he also built his own home with this product about 20 years ago, and it's still there. And each time if they had like some hurricane or big winds or stuff like that, the neighbor had to do some big maintenance, and then he didn't need to do anything. So it has been done in single families, also in offices, school, and storage like that. That's a high school over there. So we're hoping to bring these products to the single family houses, to the apartment buildings. Of course, we can still use it in the office or high school or commercial buildings as well. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So any questions?
Yes. So with the thousands of units, I know you have like a 100-member team to help.
Yes.
That's you under your.
Under our management.
Okay. So how do you managing those properties? Like it's very tedious, right? Could be very or not talk about the hurricane hit the house and total loss. So I know you talk about the many states. You talk about Ohio, Mississippi,
Kentucky, and Ohio. Yes.
It's in the Mississippi Valley, it's kind of very sometimes it's cost. So my question is that how do you manage it if something happened like disaster and you have to lost and
so insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
So how do we manage all these properties? Like you just mentioned about, we have about 100 employees all over the states, right? And we have at least a property manager. Some of them would have a leasing assistant on site, and then we'll have full-time maintenance supervisor on those properties. And on the top of that, we also have regional managers or their supervisors of the managers to manage them. So mostly me or Zach or my other asset manager, they would manage the regional manager. Of course, we talk to the property managers a lot too every day, just to know what's going on at the property, anything I need to do, like that. Me and Zach, we also visit the properties a lot. Sometimes, especially during just the new acquisition, after the property is closed, probably I would spend 2 weeks, or he would spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even a month there at the property, just to make sure everything would go on our business plan. Yeah, and then they could follow our business plan. Yes. It's not easy to manage people. That's what I can say.
That's the most
Looks
difficult
like
object.
you're superwoman, super mom.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
You're
Hardworking one.
hardworking, like a very hardworking mom
So
here.
Snowy, talk a little bit about your story. Because Snowy and I, we talk every day. I'm very impressed by how she started and how she lead people, how she keep a very effective communication. Maybe say some of that.
Yeah. So another story I could share was that in November 2017, we closed another multifamily acquisition. My son was born 3 days after the unit inspection, that the due diligence period. So a lot of my investors, they went with us. And then they was like, oh, you Valley, I'm so worried about that baby will be born during our unit work. And then he was born 3 days after the unit work. So, I mean, just, I would like to say, like, I never went to a university here in the US. I didn't really have any working experience in the US. I did have a part-time job, but it didn't last for months because of my daughter. She didn't like to go to daycare, right? I had to give up. And then I had another work at home job. It's a part-time job too. So I didn't really have any working experience here. So if I could do that, a lot of people can do it too. Yeah.
Like beginning your presentation later said, willing to, and willing to try. That's kind of you to like a brave, very brave, mom and woman to leading to the success, right? That's leading by your example.
Yes.
The practice, the passion.
It looks like you also build the house. Are you doing construction?
Yes.
Your company?
Yes.
Ah.
Right now, that's our first new construction project.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully then we can find more land.
So you hire other company to do construction, or you have your own?
Right now we have a partner in California. They are the constructor.
Yeah.
They are also the builder, I should say. They are the builder on this project. But in the future, it doesn't really necessary that we have to work with them, but just the concept that we're going to use their product and to build this kind of house. Also, the other project that we are looking to do next face it. Because like in California, the housing prices is so high. A lot of people just graduate, they cannot get a house. So we were thinking, we're actually talking to the local government that if we could work with them to get some land and then build some more affordable housings for people who just started the new life, that they can afford a house instead of renting a house. Like earlier we talked about Harry Potter. He probably need to pay $1,600 for his rent in California for a room. Sorry, not yeah.
Yeah, great talk. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So I think a lot of people, especially young people who haven't bought a house, like were wondering, is this still a good time to, buy the first house, or buy, for those who already have a primary, like, is it a good time to buy investment properties when the interest rate is, relatively high?
So depending on where they are right now, and also I would like to say, like, depending on their financial position right now, right? Just like I said, I told my husband, let's sell our house, our primary house. That was the first dream house that we could, I call it a dream house for us. Back in 2014 when we just moved back to Canada. It was a huge house in a great neighborhood, in a great community. I didn't think I would move anymore from the house. But when I found the opportunity, I was like, let's sell it. So we rent our next home, or our future home, for almost 5 years, just to save enough money to invest and to make us, I think I would say like to be financial free in a very short time. Yeah. So if you have enough money for your personal resident home, yes, go ahead, because you are the one going to live in it, right? If you're talking about investment, probably need to wait a little bit because the interest rate is still pretty high, right? So maybe it's not a good buy to buy a house to get yourself stuck in that house or interest rate for a while. To rent probably might help you in the future to get a better price.
Okay. I also have a question after this lady. Go ahead.
Yeah, your story is very inspirational. Can you just say something about your research process, like how you identify good investment opportunities?
How do I?
Yeah.
Identify the
Identify.
investment property.
So if you visit a few hundred properties a month or a year, you could find a good one. Because the more you study on those data, on those numbers, you will know this is a good one or that is not a good one to buy. Yeah.
Maybe the online help as well, right?
Yeah, online,
People
online.
are busy, maybe they're academic or professional, no time.
Yeah.
So-
But also commercial property, commercial real estate is a little bit different, that we couldn't get the information like when we want to get some information about the single family, right? We can just go to realtor.com, to Zero or Redfin or something like that. You can get tons of information about all kinds of properties, but multifamily is different. So you need to make a lot of networking connections to the broker, depending on where you're going to. Like you go meet different people, go to the networking, something like this. You might meet somebody that they can help you to get some information. And then the more you look at those properties, you will get like to know, okay, this one is a good one, that one is not a good one, I'm not going to that one. It doesn't matter, just if you got the information, just study those cases. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
very helpful.
Maybe I have a last question for me. Anyway, you talk about a lot, how do you see it, how do you put the time to managing the, but when you get first pair of gold, 第一桶金 how do you, you sell your house,
Yeah.
But it's still not enough probably for
Right.
your 40 or whatever 100 units to build, right? You're talking, how do you gather the money from private or from VC or venture capital or from somewhere else?
Good question.
Can
So,
you,
yeah, the
Please.
first acquisition we need about $1 million.
$1 million?
So, like I said, we sold our house, we liquidated our stock, and then we got the 401k money from my husband's account. It was still not enough at all. So, we talked to our friends, our circle, and then friends,
Wow.
families, friends, all kinds of people that we could talk. So people knew that what we were doing, and then they heard about what we were talking about, and then the property we were looking at. Some of the people knew what that property was, so they decided to invest, put some money with us. That's how we started.
Put the trust on you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a good mutual relationship you
Yeah.
have to build. Like an entrepreneur did the same thing, and also investors and builders do the same thing.
Yes.
Very interesting topic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.